You're listening to Long Talks with Hannah Mae
and Charlie J.
I'm a full-time musician.
And I'm in business marketing.
Together, we're two young adults who started a podcast on a broken couch.
Every week, we talk life, mental health, relationships, music, and much more.
Occasionally, we'll have a guest on and dive into their life as well.
Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy the show.
I sang it.
Good job.
I'm going to put my feet up and relax.
Okay.
Make this really like armchair.
I don't know. I guess he does put his feet up.
I see like weird like pictures of that show pop up on my like Pinterest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess because it knows that I'm into podcasting or something.
Huh.
Like I've seen just random ones, but his space is cool.
I haven't seen it on Pinterest. I've seen it on Facebook and Instagram because I follow them, but not on Pinterest. That's interesting.
It's interesting. I like Pinterest. It's very happy. It's a very happy place to be.
It is a very happy place.
As opposed to other places.
I am on Pinterest a lot right now because it's giving me all sorts of ideas for the wedding.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were wondering what we should talk about. And I guess we can talk about that. It was, what's today, the 17th?
Yeah, yesterday. It'll be a year from...
Oh my God. I thought it was Friday. No, today's the 18th.
Oh, well then, yeah, it was Friday.
It was Friday. So year
from Friday.
And I have friends who are also getting married that day.
Yes. Well,
so
friends,
they're
loose
not
term.
Invited.
Loose term. True. More acquaintances.
Music friends, we'll say.
There we go.
But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good one. We have a lot of stuff booked already and everything.
We do.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's
exciting.
It is very exciting. I really hope that things will work out and everybody that I want there.
You mean us?
No, no.
I have a good feeling about that one.
That feeling's fine. We're good. Good, but know that everybody that I want there can be there. And
well, I was talking to are you talking about just like safety or like precautions, like COVID stuff, or
no, just like in general, because I know that in October, especially people with kids, like school's going on and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if they could take a weekend or something. I don't know.
Do you have a lot of people coming from? I guess we both would. My whole family is coming from out of town, basically.
Everybody's coming from out of town for me, except maybe like a few friends, because again, it's happening.
There's nobody in Lexington, right, for you anymore, right?
Just a few friends, yeah.
Just some friends?
Yeah.
But yeah, Cynthiana is like, what?
20 minutes.
20 minutes outside of Lexington.
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting married. Just like so many other people. But,
Yeah, we're excited about ours, at least.
We're excited about ours.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the engagement photos and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, I need to talk to that photographer.
Yeah. Sometime soon we can do that.
Yeah. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Anyway, episode 5. How have you been doing?
Well, this week has been interesting just because with work, we've been doing 2021 planning.
Yes.
And so it's been really early mornings because we have European brands because we fancy.
And a shit ton of meetings.
And it's been meetings all day, every day. So last week, 4 out of the 5 days we started at 7 a.m. And most of them, I guess Monday I had to go to dinner with the client. I didn't have to. I wanted to because it's, good relationship building.
Yeah.
So it was late nights too. And then I got a cold.
And then you were sick the next day. Very, as badly as I was sick. So I'm pretty sure I gave it to you.
You did, 100%.
But also, we're vulnerable this time of year just because of the weather change.
Somebody told me that because, and I don't know how true this is. Okay. This is just, friend of a friend. So we'll have to fact check this. But they said something about because we're isolating now, that our defensive mechanisms are down. So we're more vulnerable now because we aren't like bombarded by stuff all day, every day.
That's funny. That makes a lot of sense actually, because usually it's not that bad for me at least.
Yeah.
Like it felt like I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Like without.
Well, I mean, no offense, but men are babies.
We are.
You are.
Especially now. But that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Cause I'm not out doing shows, seeing a bunch of people. like being around people and just having my energy up in general.
Yeah, exactly. So. I usually get something around this time. I remember usually around the start of school. It's just, again, it's like, it's the stress, it's the weather change, my allergies go crazy, and then that just everything else lowers. And so I usually around this time would get either a cold or a sinus infection or something.
Were you sick I know you were sick after Thanksgiving last year, but in California, were you like sick in October? Because there was no weather change.
There was no weather change. It was when we came here.
It was when we came here, and then we went back.
Yeah.
And then you were like...
And I'm like half convinced it was COVID. I'm half convinced.
I asked my mom, and she was like, I don't think there were any... known cases. Well, known cases.
Exactly. Known cases.
Could have been unknown.
We were in airports so much.
Yeah.
We were coming from California, so I could have caught it on the way there.
Right.
And then I didn't sleep. The weather changed. Everything was lowered. But I remember coming back, I had a hard time breathing. I had to get an inhaler. I
swear it was the end of 19 that they were talking about that it was around at the end of 2019, which is why it's called COVID-19.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, we were in airports so many times. And not at all this year.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, I'll say 45 instead of half, but like 45%. Like I'm thinking maybe.
You're a COVID trendsetter. You started it.
I started it.
Are you patient zero?
Maybe.
For America?
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, that is weird.
I don't know.
Because you it's just a...
I remember I had to get an inhaler, and everything.
You had trouble breathing.
I had trouble breathing. They said it was pneumonia. COVID has lots of pneumonia-like symptoms. And at that time, it wasn't very known, right? So I'm telling you, 45%. I kind of want to get the antibody test.
You should. But I was going to ask you, is there a place where you can easily get that around here? Do you know?
I don't.
Have you looked into? Yeah, because
I haven't looked into it. No.
But also, what?
This is just my imagination running wild.
But also somebody took the antibody
Correct.
test.
Yes.
Right?
Someone from work said that she, at the end of the year, or beginning of the year.
This year.
End of last year, beginning of this year, I can't remember what she said, but she had gone to Vegas for some trade shows because that's a big part of our business.
Yeah.
And she came back and she had flu-like things and she had a hard time breathing and all that kind of stuff. Again, it wasn't as known then. And so she had recently gotten some antibody tests and it showed that she had it.
Right.
So.
What was asymptomatic?
She thought it was just the flu.
Oh, got it. Sorry. So you said she did show symptoms. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean for you? Like if you were to get it and you said, oh, you definitely had it. Do we know if that means that you can't get it again?
Well, I've read recently where people are getting it a second time, but it's very rare. But I don't know.
I'm sure it's. I
don't know. There's so much unknown.
It won't be as bad, I'm sure, if you got it again.
Well, there's some people. The second time they get it, it's even worse, and then they die.
Oh, okay.
So
well, then, there you go. See, it's not as bad.
It's not as bad. It's whatever. I don't know.
There's so much still. It's October.
It is.
We have an extra animal here.
We do. We have 2 animals currently. We're changing the subject. We're getting away from
our cat just came out.
So, Pi, my cat, our cat, is here.
Always here.
She's
here. Always here.
And we are currently dog sitting for my mom, who is going to the beach with a friend. So her dog Sophie is here, and Pi is kind of mean.
She's being very territorial.
She's being very territorial. She's not being very friendly, and so she's also making lots of noise.
I've never seen her hiss like that.
Oh.
And I remember because Sophie was over when we were in Covington in 2018. Wasn't Sophie over then too?
Sometimes? Yeah, we watched her a couple times when we were in the other Covington place. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's because it was a bigger.
They had more space.
Yeah.
And she was around more. You know what I mean? It's been a long time since they've been together.
True. That's true. But all Sophie wants to do is just hang out with Pi.
She wants to be friends.
She doesn't even react when Pi bats her in the face.
She doesn't. She's like, I just want to be your friend.
She's the sweetest dog ever.
She's so sweet. We like her a lot.
But yeah, I'm loving dog energy in this place just because I miss having dogs. You know? I grew up with dogs.
Same.
Did you? Yeah, you grew up.
Yeah,
with
we always had a dog and a cat.
Yeah.
More dogs than cats. Well, cats live so much longer, so it's like I only had two cats, Tigger and then Cinnamon.
Which is weird because you told me you're allergic to cats, right?
Oh, 100%.
Do you think a lot
My
of
whole
people,
family's allergic to cats.
That's
We
so
were always
funny.
like gross.
But I was like telling you that because I use because I have to sing like for my, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm sick too. I'm allergic too, but it just doesn't affect my job or whatever.
Well, yeah, because I don't have to use my. Well, I mean, I have to talk, but I'm just as allergic. But
you take pills or allergy pills.
She's worth it. She's so sweet.
Is.
Except for right now, she's kind of
right
jerk.
now, usually she's worth it.
Yeah.
She's like a dog most of the time though.
Well, you have made her into that.
Oh yeah, because
I think it's interesting. Like she's with me, like she's super chill, very cuddly, very like just wants to sit in my lap, maybe have me like stroke her a little bit, but mostly she's just like, I just want to chill. But with you, she literally will jump over and be like, "It's playtime," and then you guys play, and she bites you, and I have to remind her that is not okay with me because she'll start biting me, and I'm like, "No, you want to do that?
That's
you
me.
go
and
to
then
Charlie."
I have marks on my hands. And I love it. But I'm going in on Wednesday to get tested, which is going to take. It is going to take 2 hours.
It is going to take 2 hours.
Yeah. Because I double checked with her. I was like, hey, because I read online it only takes like 40 minutes or whatever. And she's like, no, it's going to be like 2 hours.
Oh, man.
I guess it's because the time that injects it just takes that amount of time because like.
So you're going to go in and get like the pricks, right?
They're going to prick me with like trees and like bark and like other things.
Yeah.
That make people allergic. Peanuts. I don't know.
Other
animals, dogs are going to be on there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure for me it's like cats and then dogs is right below it. I'm also allergic to.
Yeah,
that's right. You.
So when I got when we lived in California, one of the main reasons why I didn't like it out there, I broke out in hives. Like I had hives all over my body.
That's true.
And so I was like, I'm allergic to something out here. I need to figure out what's going on. I can't live like this.
You're allergic to the sun. And the lack of humidity.
Well, no, it was something is constantly blooming out there because there is no winter to dampen things.
Wasn't it like there was like a purple flower or there was like a weird flower in our apartment complex?
Yeah. It was I'm allergic to basically all the trees except for olive. I think the olive trees, which explains why I love olives so much.
Yeah.
Allergic to all the trees, a lot of grasses. I think there was only one grass that I wasn't allergic to. Cats for sure. I don't know if dogs was on there. I'll have to look at my sheet. But peanuts. I found out that I'm allergic to peanuts, which drove me insane because I love peanut butter. But it's one of those things that now looking back, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Because
oh, that's why I was scratching.
Well, no, it's like whenever I eat something that has peanuts in it or peanut butter, which I love so much, for an hour or two afterwards, I just feel like I have a loogie. So I'm always like, like I'm just trying to clear my
you're
throat.
Only a little allergic to it.
So just like tiny bit.
Yeah.
But also when something is made in peanut oil, I immediately have to go to the bathroom. Sorry, TMI. But
weird. No, I'm sure that happens to a lot of people.
I guess so, yeah. So I still have peanut butter here. I have had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches recently because I love them so much.
Just like the lactose intolerant thing.
It is.
We're both lactose intolerant and we don't care.
I don't care. I'll have an upset stomach. It's just delicious.
I also heard there was a shot that you could give to the cat to make you not allergic to the cat. I heard that's a new thing.
Really?
Have you heard of that?
No.
Really?
I have not heard of this.
But I would much rather just go and get shots for myself, I think.
Yeah. Well, so you're going to do shots instead of drops? Weren't you doing drops?
I was, but California didn't know what drops were.
Okay.
So I don't know. So I'm just going to go and say shots. And if they offer drops, then I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think I used them long enough to know
if they worked or not.
If they worked or not. But
yeah. I didn't have to. They didn't prick me. They just took my blood, a sample of my blood, and did tests on my blood. So I never.
They had the thing?
Yeah. They didn't prick me and then see what I broke out with and all that kind of stuff. I don't.
No, yeah. They prick you and then they leave you there for a while.
Yeah.
While it all.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do that. But yeah, I just had to go give a sample of my blood and that's how they tested my allergies.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a new thing out in California, maybe?
No, this was in Covington.
No, my blood test.
Oh, your blood test. Yeah. Maybe.
Seems odd.
Although they lost my blood test here. Did you know that?
No.
They took a blood test just for general because it was my brand new doctor, and they lost it.
Seriously?
So I had to take it again. Yeah.
Oh.
To get pricked twice for blood, and I hate needles.
Oh. I don't mind needles. I actually am really good. It's sad, but like I'm really good at giving blood. Like it's
Congrats.
like there have been times. So there used to be all these drives during college.
Yeah.
And I had some friends that were part of like sororities or fraternities, and they would ask me to donate on their behalf. So I would anytime I could.
Right.
And almost every time, the nurses would come back to me and they would be surprised that I was done. They're like, "Oh, you were fat." Like it just falls out of me.
That's not a great thing to.
Well, I mean, it's not like I bleed abnormally, like in normal, but like just when I give blood, like maybe I'm just like super excited and it just, I don't know. But yeah, so I should probably actually go and give more blood.
I guess it's always needed.
Yeah, it is.
It is, I just don't, I have bad memories of needles, hospital-wise.
Really?
Yeah, I was, hospitalized a lot as a child.
Yeah.
Seizures, and like almost dying.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So yeah, it just, I don't know. It's just weird.
And they pricked you a lot during that time?
Oh yeah, just to give me IVs and stuff. And yeah, I didn't like it.
I'm sorry.
Well, who would like that?
No one.
Nobody.
No one.
Anyway.
Yeah. You don't want to go into more detail about that?
Not really, just because I don't, a lot of that stuff is I don't really remember. I just remember what my parents tell me.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of sad. I mean, like they brought a priest in to talk to my parents. They thought I was going to die on the table when I was, having seizures. And,
but you haven't had any seizures since?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I
don't know, but it could have affected me in some way relating to mental health.
Do you think that's why it's given you?
Well, that was just triggered, I think, at a young age. And maybe I wouldn't have felt it if I didn't have the seizures. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do a study.
Well, it's kind of. Do you remember when? I think it was on a shout out to Armchair Expert by Dak Shepard.
Shout out.
There was an episode where he talked to T-Pain, and he was talking about how a trauma in his young life has affected him, and so his level of what he expects life to be, you're already at a 10. So you're not going to be surprised by anything like that. So maybe the fact that you got so sick as a kid, and so anytime you got sick after that, your mom, of course, would be triggered, thinking that you would get. So then anytime you got sick, that trauma, that anxiety would pop up.
Yeah.
And so then that kind of just fed into everything else. And so that maybe amplified your anxiety.
Maybe. Mom, if you're listening.
Hey, I would have done, if that happened to my kid.
Yeah.
I would be just as worried. Are you kidding me? I would have been bubble.
Also, is that what the T stands for? Trauma pain?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's very strange to have that, have that in your past and not remember it.
Yeah.
Super well.
Do you think that's why you don't have a great memory?
I don't have a good memory.
Yeah. I know
it's very selective.
Yes, it is.
And I don't know. And hey, man, my grandma has suffering currently from dementia. So
my grandmother had Alzheimer's too.
I know.
So you can't use.
My mom is freaking out because of that too.
Yeah,
she's like trying to eat better foods. And does your mom do that too?
Yeah, my mom. She does things to help with memory and all that kind of
must
stuff.
be weird to have it run in the. Well, it runs in our family, so
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's it. What else? Did you want to go to our list of things?
Yeah, let's go to the list.
We had weird dreams.
Oh, okay.
weird ass dreams is what I wrote down.
Okay, weirdest dreams. All right.
Our year in California.
Yeah.
Conflict resolution in quarantine.
Oh yeah.
And then there was something else I forget. But that's an interesting one.
Conflict resolution
in the
sure,
quarantine.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yes, it is.
Is it not?
It is.
Because it's like magnified now.
It is. It is. Well, I mean, I think it's one of those things that you don't get a break.
No.
You know, so one, like there's no real time, even like, because half the time I'm working from home.
Yeah.
Really, I'm not working out of the office. I've only worked out of the office 1 week and then maybe like a couple days sprinkled in. But there's no real break from each other. And so things that normally like, you know, something annoyed you kind of brush it off and you get distracted and do other things. And then you leave and you come back and then it's no longer on top of mind. But here it's always on top of mind.
Yeah.
And also everything is amplified. Everything is amplified.
We just have to give each other breaks.
Yeah.
A lot more often than not.
Yeah.
Like you were saying that you had trouble. We can talk about this, I guess. I don't know. You were saying that you would think of things that you didn't ask me to do, and then you would get mad at me for that.
Well, and I
felt bad about that. I was like,
you?
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
No, it's not your. It's
I
not.
know.
That is not you at all. So I don't know if people know anything about the Enneagram.
Enneagrams.
It's awesome.
Number
you
9.
should check into it. You are a 9.
Scarily accurate.
It's amazing. So you are a 9. Mm-hmm. We need to look more into you and figure that out. But I am a 2, so that is a helper. And so my whole thing is
Enneagram, not prettiness. You're a 9.
Get out of here.
Out of 9.
Get out. Get out.
You're welcome.
So the helper, I think I get love by doing things for people. That the only reason why people like me or keep me as friends is because I help them with their problems. I, do whatever I can to make sure that they're comfortable, that everything is kind of in place and all this kind of stuff. And so I assume, and a lot of this is assumptions, which is not good. You should not assume things, is that other people will do the same for me.
Right.
But I won't ever ask for that.
No, you won't.
I will never ask for help.
No.
It has to be freely given because I don't feel like I deserve to ask for help because I can do it myself.
Well, also asking for help is just, man, it's rough to do anyway.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it, especially for, certain things, it's harder to ask for help, but yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, from my perspective, I see like if I see a person that is in my situation, this is what I would do for them.
Right.
And the fact that you don't
but they're
do
not
that.
You.
Correct. Exactly.
Which is why we're together, by the way.
Exactly.
Because I'm not you.
So it's one of those things where like I can't assume that you know what I'm thinking. You are not a mind reader. And also I can't assume that because I don't ask you to do something, because I don't ask for your help, I can't get mad at you for not doing the thing I didn't ask you to do. Yeah,
that's true. But I would sometimes like you to ask me to do something instead of just doing it yourself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like what?
Like whenever if you were to get up and say, like if you, I don't know, just something small like the dishes or whatever, something just not even a big deal at all. Like you can ask me to do them, instead of you getting up and doing it. I don't know. There's a part of me in my brain that just goes, oh, well, she could have asked me to do that.
Yeah.
And I would have done
But then also, I don't want to be the person that's constantly asking to do things.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't want to nag. You know what I mean? Because also, like, our level of cleanliness, as I have learned, is very different.
Very different.
And so I want things cleaner than you are able to live in. And
thank you.
So when you leave the dishes for a couple days, I'm like, I'm not going to ask him for a third time, so I'm just going to do it.
I won't do that. Like I think I'm at the point now where I'm pretty good if it's just if it's like loaded completely, like if it's full, I'll do them that night or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, it just my back, man. It kills my back to do that, and it's weird that I have to say that, and I'm not even 30, and that's really
well, you are a very tall man.
I have a long spine.
You have a long spine.
Yeah.
And also, it's both of us in activity. We're not moving. We're not doing anything. So you don't have that muscle strength to.
But once I get started, man, I like doing the dishes. You know what I mean? Like once you get going, it's like, I'm gonna clean all this shit up right now.
I think it's funny though that, and I've said this to you several times.
Yes.
So, audience, I don't know if you know this, but Charlie is 5 years younger than me.
Yay.
He's a baby. I robbed that cradle.
Oh, baby.
I'm a
90s kid.
Huh?
I'm a 90s baby.
Get out of here. You're so young sometimes.
I know.
But I realized this when we load the dishwasher very differently.
Yeah.
And I had determined, this is my own theory. Okay. This is my own theory, that you don't pack it as full because you didn't play Tetris as a kid.
I like Tetris.
You said that you've never played it.
No, I've played it, but I wasn't like addicted to it, you know.
Yeah. I
play Tetris putting my equipment in the car.
This is true. But like the dishwasher is like grown up Tetris for me.
Yeah.
I try to see how much I can fit in the dishwasher at one time.
Yeah.
And you don't do that.
No, I do too. I swear to God I do. I just don't try. I don't want to cover anything. And like make sure like so it doesn't get, you know what I mean? I would rather clean it manually and then not have it cover something else that's not going to get clean. This is very interesting.
Well, there's ways to like have it leaning so that still like it's not nothing's covered.
But
I can't tell you how many times I've opened that thing and there's been like 7 things in there. I won't run it unless it's full, and that's not the same for you.
No, I don't run it unless it's full. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Honestly.
If there's that selective memory, but okay.
There you go. See, I don't know what you're talking about. No, generally I won't run it if it's like 7 things in there. But anyway.
It's fine.
It's fine, whatever. What were we talking about before this?
Conflict resolution.
It's not a big deal.
It's not.
It's not a big deal.
It's not at all. It's just funny. Like when you live with someone. Also, like I
never lived alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I lived first of all, I moved out in college. I lived in a dorm in college. So I basically moved out of my home when I was 18. I went back for summers and like and Christmas vacation.
In a Christmas vacation.
I knew you were gonna start singing that song.
That's not how it goes.
But I basically that's when I moved out, and then I lived with roommates for a few years, and then I started living by myself. And hopefully you guys can't hear
the dogs around. The dog they're so loud and slurpy
in the background.
She's slurping.
But I lived by myself. Starting. I don't know, whatever. For a few years, I lived by myself.
Yeah.
And then, so when you moved in,
what?
I had to adjust to living with a person. Well, yeah, living with a boy. First of all, is just weird. My standards are a lot lower for everything. For everything,
except for music.
Correct.
But that doesn't concern you at all.
That doesn't matter at all. Like that doesn't affect my living situation.
Yeah, not at all.
But I had to go from living by myself to living with a boy, and then also like you have never lived.
No, I went from my parents to you.
Yeah,
and that was mostly, and we had only lived together for 3 months before, and then we moved to California.
Yeah,
it was just I don't know. It was a lot, and a lot of like I know that sometimes I don't like to do things because I had them, you know, I didn't have to worry about it when I was at my parents. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just all part of growing up and stuff. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Anyway, I was going to ask you about the Enneagram stuff. About I'm
not an expert by any means.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, do you think like people when because you've talked to me about specific friends that that have reached out to you only because it's convenient for them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So do you feel like you need to help them all the time, or if only if they can help you back, or like?
No, I have a weak spot for I've gotten, now that I recognize that, I've gotten better.
Yeah.
Now that I've recognized this. But yes, I've had some friends in the past that would only really be my friend or be close unless if they needed something from me. And I, of course, would be their friend, be there for them, do whatever that it is that they need. But I would never ask them to.
Without expecting anything.
Correct.
Back.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it validated myself in there. For me, I was like, oh, this validates that they need me. Like, of course, I'm gonna to stay in their life. Like, of course, I'm gonna do everything that I can because that's the only way that you'll.
So you need to be needed.
I need to be needed.
I need you.
I know you do.
Thank you. Oh, I see how it is. You know, I get it.
But no, now that I recognize that a lot, since I have. Now, granted, I need to do a lot more research. I need to do a lot more reading about it. It's very, I know, like, not very much, just very little.
Yeah.
But it has allowed me to recognize when it becomes a toxic trait.
Yes. It's weird.
And also, it's like you mentioned earlier, like it's helped me recognize. It's helped me in my relationship with you because I'm like, okay, no, you can't be mad at him for not reading your mind. That's not fair to anyone in this situation.
We have the perfect relationship. I don't know what you're talking about. It is weird. First of all, it's very strange to read something. And it's like, what the fuck? Get out of my brain. Like you literally read exactly what my mind is thinking all day. And then there was like a little offshoot thing. I think they're called wings, right?
Yep.
And that was like even more in depth.
Yeah. He just so everybody that's in Enneagram world.
Your mom.
Yeah. Well, some other women too.
That's true.
He is a 9-wing 1.
Yes.
Yep.
Which I don't remember what that means, but.
Well, 1 is like the perfectionist. So you have like a little bit of
yes.
Of
it's
needing
all or
things
nothing.
to be in. Yeah.
I have an all or nothing thing happening. Yeah. So like it happens a lot when I. Like it comes out mostly when I try to diet and stuff and get in shape. It's like, oh, I can't eat anything fatty. It has to be all, instead of just cutting down on certain things and just making it reasonable. It has to be all or nothing. And then I fail after a week because that's impossible. You're starving yourself, and then you just overeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's and a lot of that has to do with like I do that with music too sometimes. I don't know. It's just it's a certain thing.
You dive in, man.
I dive in. There was something else I was going to ask you about being a 2. But I forget what it is.
Okay. Well, if it comes to you.
Do you know what wing you are?
I don't. I need to do more research. I want to say that I also have a little bit of 1.
Yeah.
Because I do like things orderly. I do like
yeah.
I like rules. And I like when people follow the rules. But I haven't done as much research into 3, so I don't know.
Right.
And I don't want to we can't play right now, Sophie.
We're doing something. She wants to play.
So again, like I want to read more.
Yeah.
Especially, and I have some books, but again, like it's deep shit. Like it. Oh yeah. It's emotional. It's coming to terms. It's being honest with yourself. It is.
That's what I like about it. I mean, it's something I've never experienced it before. I met you, and I didn't think anything of it when you first brought it up to me, honestly.
Oh, really?
And then when you showed me it, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my brain.
I follow some Enneagram Instagram accounts, so it's very quick, easy, like just little snippets. Again, doesn't dive into anything, but I read something the other day about 9s and their wings. And I read the one about 9-wing-1, and immediately I was like, oh, this is 100% Charlie.
Yeah.
So I just handed him my phone, or no, I sent it to you.
Yeah, it was something like that. But I thought it was going to be, oh, this is what she thinks I am or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like,
oh, damn.
what the hell is happening? Because it is good to know that stuff about yourself. Just
100%,
so you can,
yeah. But because it is, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to want to dive deep. I just haven't had the energy or the desire to want to do that right now.
Well, it's hard.
It is.
It's just like first of all, just on a general basis, what our life right now is not our life specifically, but life right now is very depressing overall.
Yeah.
The fact that it's still October
so hard right
and
now.
it's still, this shit is still happening, and it's going to go on until midsummer, until like next year.
I know.
And it's really depressing, and like the holidays are coming up, so that makes it more depressing that we have to like pick and choose like can you imagine how many people aren't going to be seeing families or the people that are going to do it just not care?
Yeah.
Which is really kind of what bummed me out. But yeah, I don't know. And I think I told you this last time, but this time of year always makes me
anxious,
weird, and just like, I don't know, I get kind of anxious about the cold and the there's like weird expectations put onto me that I put on myself around this time of year because of sports, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just, again, that goes deep.
Well, you have to retrain your brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because you're not in sports now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What's up? Yeah.
So it's one of those things. It's a muscle reflex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your anxiety, depression, all that kind of stuff. It's a muscle reflex. So when a certain situation happens, your brain's like, oh, I have to react this way.
Yeah.
And you have to retrain that.
There's days when I've woken up anxious. On days I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like days are like just a regular, like, you know, it's very strange. But yeah, you have to actively retrain.
Yeah.
Your brain.
Again, and it's just like any other muscle. It takes work, and it takes doing it over and over and over again.
Is the brain not the biggest muscle
I think so.
in your bod?
I think
besides my biceps, obviously.
Besides that.
Do you have anything like that?
What?
Where you have to retrain your brain about anxiety or anything like that? Or depression? Because you suffer more from depression than
Correct.
I do.
I don't. Anxiety is never. I'm nervous and but not really. I don't think I have anxiety. I think it's more so depression. Yes, I have where and I've gotten better about it over time because again, I've had to retrain myself. But when something triggers, and it's different every time, it comes out of nowhere. I don't know. But what happens is that I start to spiral. I start to go down a path that takes me to the dark place, where it's hard for me to get out of bed. It's hard for me to, want to do anything except sleep or lay and watch TV. Like, it's just, like I isolate. I don't answer phone texts.
Right.
I don't answer phone calls or texts. Phone text,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to people. Like, I completely shut down.
I don't count. I'm part of you.
You're part of me, and you don't count. You're like my arm. But I still get into those moments. It's not like I'm cured by any means, but it doesn't happen every time. There are moments where something triggers and I'm like, oh shit. And I start going down that way, and I'm like, no, I need to get out, go to the grocery store, go get a coffee, talk to my mom, talk to a friend. Like, you don't count.
What? And your mom counts?
My mom counts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't count.
Because she
well, she's living a different
correct.
life.
And then also, like, she doesn't suffer as much as maybe she has a little bit of depression, but because she's done so much internal work and she works really hard on recognizing things.
So jealous.
She doesn't. She knows how to, and she also knows me so well.
Yeah.
So she knows how. Like, she's like, the other day I called her, and it was just, I was having a hard time. We FaceTime pretty much every day.
Right.
And she was like, "Look, go into your room, have a good cry," and then she was like, "And then get out of it." She's like, "Fix yourself a coffee." Like, you know what I mean? Like, do these. She gives me steps to do, and I do them, and they get me out of it. And then sometimes, again, because I'm a 2, I don't ask for help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've learned more and more to ask for help. I know my friend Krista the other day, we message all the time on GChat during the day.
Yeah.
And, I was telling her I was in a pretty dark place, and she's like, is there anything I can do? She was literally asking, what can I do to help? And I was like, nothing, don't worry about it. Like,
Totally. It takes
fine.
like literally there's like 3 layers that you have to go through before you're like, okay, you can help me with this.
Yeah.
But let me just ask you something. Like, are you saying that you wouldn't come to me because I suffer from anxiety?
I think sometimes,
or because I don't understand depression.
I think it's because you're in the place where you come from. You're like, I want to sit with you. I want to help you through this. And rather than trying to pull me out, you just sit where I am.
Yeah, that's true.
And be supportive, which I love and is wonderful.
Thank you.
But it's one of those things where sometimes I need someone to push me and motivate me and get me out rather than sitting with me. Sometimes I do need, but that's the thing. Like sometimes I need.
My argument is that like life sucks, and sometimes you have to have a bout of depression, and you have to get through it. Like, I mean, I totally agree that sometimes you need to be pushed out, but it's just it just depends on I don't know.
Again, and it's different every time. Sometimes I do love and need you to just hang out with me.
Oh, sometimes you love me. Okay. It's very selective.
Shut up. No, that's not true. You know that's not true.
No, I was gonna oh shoot, I was gonna ask you something also. About how your mom's perfect.
Yeah, my mom's wonderful.
She's wonderful.
She's not perfect, but she's wonderful.
She's much more calm and seems to it's like the parent thing. So yeah, they know, both my parents know me, so they're like my go-to anyway. You know what I mean? But but you've also gotten a lot better at helping me since we lived together, and since we've whenever I see you are really good at stopping yourself now with whenever you spiral. So I've rarely seen you, except for maybe like a handful of times in 3 years that we've been together. And those were all justified. But yeah, you've always been like, okay, I'm spiraling, I'm going to go out for a second or whatever. I'm going to go do something. So it seems like you're much better about than I am.
Well, again, it's one of those things. I think part of it is that because I lived on my own, I had to do that for myself.
Right.
You didn't see those moments where I literally never went to class and failed all my classes and just went to work, and then you know what I mean, like it was just like you didn't see that. So it's taken a lot for me to get to this point. And I've had that practice because I was on my own. I didn't necessarily have that parachute, and I feel like you've always kind of had. You haven't needed to do that as much.
There was a time when I didn't go to a fucking semester of school.
Yeah.
And I just would go hang out in the parking lot and just go get food or whatever. And it's like a thing. You just internally just hate yourself so much for doing it too.
100%.
The whole time. You're just like, what are you doing? This is so stupid. Your class. And I remember getting like emails from my teachers, and they're like, you're going to fail this class if you don't come in and do this or whatever. It's like, I don't care. I really don't care about anything. But it's and I remember specifically one time when you were really good, which you learned from Grey's Anatomy. Remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
It was when I was on a new medication, and I was saying I was fine that whole night. I was like, you were like,
I felt
10 times you were like, are you okay? Is there something wrong? I was like, no, I'm just tired or whatever. And that's the easiest excuse ever. I'm just tired. And then I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower. And then I came out, and I was like, can I have a hug? And I just cried for like a while.
And I learned from Grey's Anatomy that when someone is feeling anxious and when they're kind of having a moment of anxiety, a panic attack, if you will, the pressure, you want to put pressure on them. So I tried to hug you as hard as I could, because that pressure is supposed to...
I didn't know what you were doing. I was like, it was nice. And then And it's just like that was a moment when I couldn't think of one good thing in my life. You know what I mean? Like that medication had pushed me to that point.
Well, no, you were off your anxiety pills and only on.
I was only on
antidepressants. You were
is that
only
right?
on.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you were only on
Wellbutrin is antidepressant. Yeah, so
Yeah.
which I don't need as much as anti-anxiety.
Yeah.
And I was like sitting in the shower, like I couldn't, even if I wanted to think of something, like just to think of something, I couldn't think of anything that was good with my life.
Yeah, your brain lies to you.
Yeah, it's really good because it knows you so well.
It knows you so well.
Your brain knows
you so well. It knows exactly what you need, what it has to tell you in order for you to stay where you are.
Yeah.
In that anxious
talk
moment.
About memory. I remember all the times that I've broken down in the past when I've been with you.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what, that's just a sense memory thing probably, where it's just like, oh, you were feeling really intensely at this moment.
Yeah.
But like going back to California after Thanksgiving last year, we came here for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And then we had to get up super early. Also, I was tired, which, you know, and our Lyft driver probably thought we were insane, but
yeah, I don't think he really cared.
He didn't care, but I was sobbing the whole time.
Yeah, you were quiet about it at least.
Yeah. I mean, God, I can't believe I said I was going to stay. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I looked you and it's because of the separation anxiety that I have from from that house and from my parents and from all that, from the cover of home. And that's what living with them for 27 years has done, you know? Mm-hmm. And you don't really know it until you get on the outside and look in. So, which they're moving away from that house now. So it's going to be, and they're already like freaking out about it. And it's going to be rough.
So when my mom moved out of her house.
Yes.
It was interesting because when I went to go help her,
were we in?
We were in California.
We
were in California, and I went in for a long weekend.
Right.
I guess I am better at compartmentalizing things.
Uh-huh.
So when I was there, it wasn't about moving out of the house that I grew up in, that my dad died in, that my family grew and, you know, we were all together.
Yeah.
It wasn't about leaving that space. It was more for me in that moment. It was like, I need to help my mom get out of this place that is painful for her to be in.
For her to be there.
And it was too much for her. So I was like, this is me helping her get into a better place.
Right.
This has nothing to do with me. This has nothing to do with how I'm feeling. Put that shit aside. I got to help mom pack. I got to use my muscles. Muscles.
Can I ask about, I think you probably told me this at some point, but why she picked Asheville? Was it because of closeness to your brother? Or no?
Well, no, they're in Durham, so it's still 3 hours.
It's still 3 hours. It's closer than Lexington.
It is. So Asheville, her brother and sister-in-law.
That's right.
Live there. She has family there, so she already had a base. Mm-hmm. But my mom is very progressive. She's hippie. But she's also like pretty spiritual, and it's a place that fits her very well. Yeah. I remember I can't remember which friend it was. Maybe Allie. I don't know. I can't remember. But I was like, yeah, my mom's going to be moving to Asheville. And she goes, oh my God, it's just granola enough for her. Like, it was just like, it fits her very well.
Yeah.
And so it was because family was there.
Yeah.
So she already had a base because she does need a support system.
Right.
100%. But she needed to get out of Lexington. So she was like, and she didn't want to move to Arizona to be with her other sister.
Did she consider moving here, closer to us?
Well, we were in California at the time.
Did she consider moving to California?
No. Here's the thing. I love my mother. She is one of my closest friends, if not, my best friend, but we cannot live together. We learned this when I moved back home when I was unemployed. Now, granted, I was in a very dark place and very depressed at the time, but I'm too independent. And when I go back there,
Did you say you're Miss Independent?
I said I'm too independent,
but you are Miss Independent.
I am Miss Independent.
INDEP and whatever.
Yeah, great speller.
That word.
You're so good.
Spelling bee.
But it's when you live with a parent, there is a you do you almost revert a little bit to your middle school, high school self. Because again, I hadn't lived with my parents since I was in high school. I moved out when I went to college.
Yeah.
And so there was a part that kind of reverted back to that I didn't like and didn't want to do. And then also because my mom has run her house for however long she's had her house, the way I do things and the way she does things is very particular. And so when I don't do it the way that she wants me to do it, she's like, I'll just do it. And I'm like, I want to help.
That's you though.
I know.
With me, but I am not particular.
I know.
I'm particular about not being particular. Okay. Is that being particular?
But here's the thing. If the person is particular, shouldn't you do it the way that they want it because they care and you don't?
Maybe. Sure. I guess.
I would. So yeah.
I just, I'm not going to get into that right now. But just don't want to open that can of worms.
Yeah.
It's not a can of worms at all. It's just
no, I get it.
I totally, there were times when I fucking hated my parents living there, and they would agree that you're supposed to you're not supposed to live here till you're 27 or like there were times when they would just and I felt like whenever I had my brother or sister over who had moved out, I felt like I was the kid in middle school. I felt like I was like the loser kid who was just like still living at home with his parents and my growth was stunted. I could feel it happening.
Well, I will say since we've been together and living together, you have grown exponentially,
I think California was a big part of that.
100%.
For both of us.
Yeah.
Because it made us realize how much we hate California.
Yeah.
And that's a funny thing too. Like I told you that my dad almost pulled me aside and said, "You don't go," right?
Yeah.
I told you that, right? And he which I don't know if I would have I don't know if I would have listened to him, honestly.
I don't know.
But it was just this thing of oh, you're getting a job. Oh, we're going together. Okay, that's fine. You know what I mean? Because we were so close. You know what I mean? We were close very quickly. Very quickly, very, very close. So I didn't think for a second that I wasn't going to go with you. Because I thought that's just insane. I just moved in with you. What am I doing? And I don't think you thought about it either, right? Or
well, I remember wanting to talk to you, calling you and being like, "Hey, I've been giving this opportunity. We need to talk about this," because I was going to go whether you went or not. No
matter what, yeah.
And I wanted you to come with me because I also was like, it could have been a good opportunity for you two because LA does have great opportunities for musicians. But the idea and the reality are two very different things, as we learned. So in my mind, I was like, this could be great for both of us.
Right.
Because again, the idea of it
I was also,
great.
My mindset was I was trying to get away from family because I had just moved in with you and I was like, I wanted to separate myself from my parents as much as I love them. And they are my other best friends. You're my best friend.
Thank you.
But my other best friends
You're
as
my
well.
best friend too.
Thank you. But so I was in a different mindset completely. And I thought it was completely exciting.
Yeah.
Little did I know that we were an hour outside of LA. And if we ever wanted to go into LA, it would take the whole fucking day.
Yeah.
And if you are not, established, I'm just talking as an artist, as a musician, if you're not established when you go out there, don't go out there.
Yeah.
It'll mess you up, man.
Yeah.
Because nobody gives a shit about you unless you have credits, unless you have established or whatever.
Yeah.
Just in shitty ways. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Well, again, it's one of those things that
everyone's so protective of their brand and they don't want you sorry, I'm just gonna keep going.
Go right ahead.
I'm thinking of very specific people now.
Yeah.
But I got good opportunities. I got to write with some big people, and they subsequently did not contact me after that. But yeah, it was just a mind fuck just being out there.
Yeah.
It was messed up, but I think doing it was good. I don't, regret it.
No, I don't regret it either.
Yeah.
I think it allowed us to weld together, if you will.
Thank you.
It also, I grew a lot in my career and my knowledge of things and how to handle things and all sorts of stuff. But unfortunately, I think we should have not necessarily lived close to my job, I think. But again, it was so expensive.
We talked about that.
Living,
but then you would have had. But see,
and then also we only had the one car, and that caused problems.
In the end, it was better that we lived closer to work, because I don't think it would have mattered for me, and knowing what we know now, knowing what I know now about California. But yeah, I mean, and now we're here.
Yeah.
So
we're back.
The end.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I think it wasn't. I've always had this problem of liking the idea of things and having a very romantic ideal of what a situation could be, and the reality is very rarely that.
You're a dreamer.
I'm a dreamer.
Same. I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, California, but it's so humongous.
Yeah.
It's such a humongous place.
Exactly.
If you had someone that you knew, and I met some friends, like music friends or whatever, people, and they were like, "Oh, let's go write together." Okay, you're only an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like everyone was just. I mean.
Yeah.
And to live directly in LA is so expensive.
It is. It really is. I am kind of sad on your behalf that band didn't work out. I wish you guys would have gotten together sooner.
Yeah, there were a couple guys that I met this drummer, and he was like, I got some, because we went and saw, this band, this bassist and keyboard player, and they were really good, and we were gonna do something together.
It just never ended up working out.
That was towards the end of us.
It was during it was close to the end. It was you guys. I think you guys started talking, and then right after that is when we started discussing with my job moving back. So it was like right when the switch happened of like, okay, we're done with California and out. You know?
And honestly, to be like, again, unless you're established, don't worry about a band, because you can't pay them. Like, everyone, and I'm not going to take them to a gig and like not
and split that fee.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it would be tough to find gigs without, I guess maybe once a month or whatever we could go do like a
and again, it's also one of those things where like Californians are used to, like, it's going to take me an hour and a half to get to this place, and that's not what we're used to. We're like, if that's going to be an hour and a half away, like,
we're used to October being cold as shit, and and we can get there in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, it was in the end, I guess it is weird that it happened. I think about that, and I'm like, that was so fucking weird.
It's like a weird blip.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think either of us knew that we would. I don't know. I think we thought because we saw houses in California. We were going to move after our year lease in a complex, because fuck complexes.
Yes.
But we were like looked at California houses, and then more and more every day, you coming home from work, you were like, God, I just can't.
It's not. Yeah.
There were certain parts of it that you were just like, okay, I have to make a decisive decision about this.
When we decided that we were going out there,
I
was like, we'll be out there at least 2 years. Like, that was just that was my mindset. It's like at least 2 years, and then we can reevaluate. But the reality was just so hard, and I could literally physically see you cracking.
Yep.
And was making also adding to my like, oh my God, like it was just
totally.
again, like it was just for your mental health, for my mental health, I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
I remember the Amazon thing.
Yeah.
God, I like almost got a job with Amazon, and then I flipped out and had a panic attack, and just, it's, I don't know, just being so far away. In the end, being so far away from family, at least it hurt me very badly.
Yeah.
Just because I have that separation anxiety. I don't know about you, but
yeah,
being on the same coast as your parents is nice.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the hardest thing was the time zone.
Yeah. TZ.
Yeah, I don't the distance sucked. Don't get me wrong. Like it was hard. Like you had to like plan out and you had to take a flight and all that kind of stuff. That sucked. But like I think the time zone was like it messed up the most because our times with work and going to bed, like, you know what I mean? Like
you would get off work and then your mom would be going to bed.
Yeah.
It was like, that was just the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And you would call her. She's like, oh, I'm in bed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Or I'm heading that way. You know what I mean? Like if I, so it was just 3 hours is a lot. It's a lot. You don't think it is, but it really is.
It's a lot. And part of what I can't believe also is how on board we were with just driving across the country. Because we just needed to get back, at least I did. I was just
we had such a shitty experience with the moving company, and we wanted to have our stuff when we got here.
Yes.
Because moving there, it was like a month before we got our stuff.
Yeah.
And we lived on an air mattress and 2 camping chairs
and
a TV on the floor.
That was fun.
For a month.
That was fun.
And I didn't want to do that again.
Nope.
I was like, I want my shit immediately. So the only way we could do that was drive it ourselves.
Yeah, it was a long drive.
A long week. But we made
that
it,
was
man.
During COVID, man.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
But yeah, I mean, like we just talked about the fact that California, the drive that literally was never ending from California back to Kentucky and being in COVID. If we can survive that, I think we can survive anything.
Remember when I was pissed?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. We were waiting.
I was just going to say that.
We were waiting at a red light.
That specific thing.
And he was like, fuck this, and just went. And I was like, are you insane?
You're going to pay that ticket.
I was like, if we get a ticket, you're paying it. You are paying that 100%. And then you didn't talk to me for 5 minutes.
That's how I do it, man. I internalize and then I just... But it was... Oh, I think I was off my meds then.
You were. You accidentally packed them. You didn't...
I accidentally packed them
into the truck. We didn't have them with... Yeah. Yep.
But, yeah, it was weird. And here we are.
Yeah.
Going into November already.
Yeah.
Playing tomorrow my song on TV. Not TV, but like
a commercial?
But commercial is tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm in a
Call of Duty
song. What? How do I say this? I am vocalizing in a song that was used in a trailer for Call of Duty.
Gotcha.
That
Lots
is
of oohs and ahs?
Internet campaign.
Oh, nice.
That is national, but it's coming out tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just like it's literally 3 to 5 seconds of me saying something. It's like a spooky Halloween thing.
Ooh, spooky.
I got paid, man.
Nice.
Didn't I get paid?
Have you gotten paid?
No. Within 30 days.
Gotcha. But it's launching?
Well, they have to get paid first.
Oh, right.
So basically, they were like, and this is for off air, but
yep.
But anyway, I'm working with this awesome licensing company, and they hooked me up with a music producer in New Jersey. But anyway, so I'm working with them to write for TV and film and stuff.
Nice.
And they're pitching.
You got that door open, man.
Yes. And then I'm playing a wedding on Saturday.
Weekend?
Do you want to guess the first dance that I have to learn this week?
It's a country song.
It is a country song. How did you know that?
Because I know.
You don't know him, I don't think.
Probably not. I don't like country music.
Luke Combs is a great vocalist.
Sure.
Anyway, it's one of those songs. And I guess it's one of his new songs, but I've got to learn that. I got to, I'm playing. I'm not DJing. Like
okay.
I'm like playing the whole time for like.
Are you
6
doing
hours.
the ceremony?
Yeah, ceremony, cocktail hour, and reception. Just like kind of chill playing.
Oh damn.
Playing acoustic. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Some people just want that, I guess, for a while, but. And then I got that Halloween wedding, which I am DJing for.
Nice.
Monster Mash.
I should reach out to my friend from Starbucks. Her husband wrote and I think about it every October.
What?
He wrote this song called Scary Ghost Spiders. And it's this dumbest song, but it gets stuck in my head every October. I need to reach out to her.
I think I've heard you sing it.
Because it's such a silly, stupid song, but I love it so much. And I think he also wrote one called Frankenstein Kitty. I think. And they're just so dumb and I love them so much.
That's funny.
But I literally, every October, I think I've reached out to her every October and she's like, oh, you got that song stuck in your head. And I never talk to her.
You should reach out to her again.
I might.
You should.
I might do that.
I don't know, man. I love Halloween songs, but I'm also, it's weird because I hate
Halloween.
Scary.
You hate scary stuff.
And I saw, by the way, I was walking Sophie, the doggo.
The Doogs.
I was walking her yesterday, and there is a house on 7th that is completely made up for Halloween right now. It has like spider webs, but and it has like police caution tape on the windows. So it's like something bad happened in there.
Oh.
But then on the door.
On 7th?
Is it on 7th or maybe it's the one around
or is
on
it
8th,
Philadelphia?
I think, no, I don't think it's Phil. I think it's 8th.
Oh, okay. So
it's where I found the little patch for her.
That one. Oh, yeah.
On 8th. Not the 8th that we lived on, but the other side of it.
Yeah.
But on the door, like handprints of blood and like so much blood.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So are people trying to get in who are already bloody? Like they're zombies? You know what I mean?
No.
Wouldn't they be trying to get out if they're getting murdered and bloody?
Yeah, they're trying to get out. That's where the handprints are trying to get out.
But but it's going into the door. Like they're trying, like it's on the door.
Right.
This is
from the inside or from the outside? Anyway, whatever.
On the outside, because I wasn't inside the house.
Okay. I guess it just depends on how
some people, it's funny how some people will be like, oh yeah, it's a very kid-friendly holiday, like Halloween is so, but then some people just like, those like headless people, like on their people go all out, man.
So in Louisville, there is a street.
Kentucky.
Called Hillcrest.
Yeah.
And every Halloween, the entire street decorates their house.
Cool.
And so they call it Hellcrest.
Nice. Good one, guys.
And it literally like people like park and like walk. I mean, it's like a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes like some of them are kind of kid friendly. They're just like, woo, cool. And then some of them are scary as hell.
Yeah.
There's really like
There's no in between.
There's no in between.
There should be.
Yeah.
Guys, really, put the wood chipper away. This is not what is happening. This is scary, man.
Not cool, man.
It's not cool. But yeah, so I'll be doing that and you'll be not
doing that.
Not doing that. I was going to say not handing out candy, but you wouldn't be anyway because there's only 3 apartments in our.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about, because we live above a bar, how we have found ourselves living above a bar again, but.
Better not happen again, I swear to God.
It happened. I will lose my shit.
Yeah.
I know they're going to do a big Halloween bash. Yeah. So parking's going to suck.
Do you think people around us will be like out trick-or-treating?
Maybe. I think they canceled
like if you were to go out on the parking pad or whatever.
Haven't they canceled trick-or-treating?
Oh, did they?
I thought they were talking about it.
Maybe. In like all of Kentucky, maybe?
I don't know. Well, Kentucky doesn't care.
Yeah.
They'll probably still do it.
I think.
Can't get away with my rights. I'm going to give away candy if I want to.
Take my guns. So many Trump signs yesterday. Yeah, because in 2018, I also played Halloween, but you didn't do anything that year either, did you?
What did I do in 2018?
I don't know, but I have a weird consistency with playing Halloweens.
Halloween weddings.
Yeah, this is like the 3rd or 4th Halloween wedding I've played.
Interesting.
And nobody is dressed up or anything. It's just like a normal wedding.
Weird.
I mean, I'm marrying like a zombie. And,
you just play the Monster Mash over and over and over
again.
It's a
Smash, man. It's a Monster Mash.
That's funny.
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Over.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on Twitter at Long Talks Pod. We're on Instagram at Long Talks Pod. That's it.
Yeah.
HM
Facebook.
Groves.
Do we have a Facebook?
We have a Facebook group if you want to join that.
Yeah.
We post all the episodes there.
Yeah.
Discussions.
Please write a review and give us 5 stars.
If you're on iTunes.
Yes.
Write us a review, but don't no pressure if you don't want to leave us 5 stars.
Thank you for those that have. There have been some really nice ones.
There have been.
I still don't know who Bruce and Shorty are.
Bruce and Shorty, we're
giving you a shout out. We really liked your review.
Thank you.
I have no idea who you are, but I appreciate it.
I was like, oh, this is one of Hannah's friends.
Nope, I have no idea.
But yeah, if you're on iTunes, that really helps us with visibility. We need some people to hear about our lives and stuff.
Yeah, hear us, sitting around talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
All right, I love you.
Love you anyway.
Love you anyway.
All right, we gotta sing it. Remember?
Oh yeah.
1.
Wait, what are we singing again?
Episode.
What are we?
Goodbye.
Good. Oh yeah. Got it. We're just singing.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Goodbye.